Matt, tell me, how does a typical session go with someone you're
Yeah.
discipling?
Yeah, so typically when I'm heading to meet up with somebody, and so again, not everything I do is face to face. Doing a lot more on text
Yeah.
and different things. But when I'm heading to meet up with somebody, I typically just go into worship myself,
Mhm.
worshiping the Lord in my
Yeah.
own car because I'm driving.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not closing my eyes, but I'm
Yeah.
worshiping. The goal is just to connect with His heart,
Yeah.
just to love Him, just to love Him. And then in that place, and often you'll feel a shift inside of your spirit when you begin to you become aware of his indwelling presence.
Yeah.
So you're just enjoying Him. Then in that place, though, I'll begin to pray for whoever it is. And I'll just begin to bless them. It's not formulaic. I love to pray apostolic prayer. It's from, Ephesians 1:17 through 19, or from Colossians. I love to pray, just pray over them, the word. And then often sometimes I'll hear the Lord saying something, kind of giving me a directive to kind of talk about a specific topic, whatever it is, fear or father wounds or whatever. Sometimes you hear Him say things.
Right.
But if not, it's okay. So, I don't dwell on having to receive something, but I want to be available. I get there, and then the first part of the main session is just loving them.
Yeah.
It's like we're useless. We're a clanging cymbal if we actually don't have love.
Right.
You and I both know guys who disciple, who evangelize, but it's from a place of woundedness, and it's actually not from a place of love. Right. And so just loving them, really caring for them, seeing the beauty that each person is, and hearing how their work's going, how their family's going, things like that. Actually caring, coming down and being with them.
Yeah.
It's the richness of life, is actually being able to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then there'll be typically two questions that come up in my mind. The first thing that I ask is always, what is the Lord doing in your life?
Yeah.
What has Jesus been speaking to you?
Yeah. Things
like that. And so the goal is this. It is the nature of that question. When they begin to answer that, sometimes they don't know what to say at first. Mm-hmm. And so I'll have to help them. So I'll say, hey, listen, tell me what you've been thinking about the last 2 weeks, right? We know whatever's excellent, whatever's pure, when it's thought about, it's from the source of Jesus. Yeah. And so actually even helping them discern, okay, that's the Lord's voice.
Right.
That's actually Him assigning something.
So good.
Right. And so that's big. They begin to self-identify. I hear the Lord's voice. I know He's a good Father, and this is what He's doing. Yeah. Right. And it also helps me too, because, if we come with the formulaic, like, okay, this next session is going to be about evangelism, but the Lord's breathing in, healing him up from an emotional wound with his mother or his dad, right? It's going to come up in his thought life, and then we're going to minister right there. So it's actually helping him discern the Holy Spirit's voice, and also helping me discern what is the Holy Spirit doing. Right. Holy Spirit's writing His own story in this guy's life, not me. Yeah. And I want to come along as a brother and bless what the Spirit's doing, right? Come on, yeah. And so I would say that's a very key question for me. Yeah. And so, and the goal is this, is that it makes them codependent on His voice. Right. Right. So the goal is he's not eventually always going to have time to meet up with Matt. But if he learns that Matt's main question is, what is the Holy Spirit doing? And that's what he's going to talk about. Eventually he becomes aware of what Holy Spirit's doing, and he doesn't have to talk to Matt about it. Right. Right. Yeah. And so he's become codependent on Jesus, not on me. Yeah. The second question that I love to ask is, what is the enemy doing? Mm-hmm. So, and specifically, like, what are the voices of fear, of condemnation, of self-doubt? It could be pride if it's a prideful guy, but what is the enemy doing, right, in his life? Yeah. And the goal is always this, is to hopefully dig a little deeper. I'm a little older, and I've seen more in my own life and other guys' lives. And so trying to maybe have him look a little deeper about where the root of this behavior is, where the root of this thought pattern is. Yeah. But it's always very simple. It's replacing the lie that someone's believing with the truth from Jesus, right? Truth from the Word. It's a thought pattern that has to just be switched. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And typically what I'm doing is I'm sharing, it's one of three things. It's not rocket science. I'm sharing a testimony of Jesus from my life, or from the life of a close friend. I'm sharing from the Word, or I'm sharing a spiritual principle, which is often from the Word. Yeah. Right? And it's the thinking process that begins to be switched out in a moment in time. Right. And so the goal is that as you meet up with guys, that they begin to be codependent more on the Lord. Yeah. They filter out these lies, and they begin to take on the thinking patterns of Christ, right? And the emotional world of Christ. Yeah. And so that's often what happens. And at the end, I pray for them. Mm-hmm. Right. And so such a in the Jewish community today, in very conservative Jewish households, every Shabbat, every Friday night, the father lays hands on his sons and blesses them. Wow. Right. Yeah. And so there's such a power of a guy blessing you. I mean, I see God blessings from older men, right? Because the words that are said from a heart of knowing Jesus, they go to war against the lies in our mind and the thought life of those men. A lot of these guys have never seen a good father. They've never seen a good brother modeled, a man who can bless. And so beginning to do that, and then often too, maybe not the first few meetings, but then I'm going to have him bless me, because I'm not raising someone up with the mindset of I am someone who needs to be ministered to. I'm just a victim. No, you're a man who's called to take on a kingdom of brokenness and tear it down, and to establish a kingdom of righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. And so you're going to do that in my life, and I'm going to have you do it. And so just that simple thing of modeling, be raised up so that's kind of how I run typically most sessions. And I want to say in closing, so it's not dependent on me knowing everything. It's actually more dependent on intentionality, meeting up with the guy, and just being sensitive to the Spirit. It's not about a 12-step program. You can use books. If someone's watching this and saying, hey, I've got a better plan, that's okay. Do that, but just get your car in motion. All right?
That's so cool.